this is a really great blonde color, you guys. I am loving this. Bones of Jones. Your hair is growing because you have roots, right? Hi everybody, welcome back to the Chiquel YouTube channel. My name is Amanda, and for today's video, I'm gonna be bringing you 3 colors in the wig that I'm wearing right now. And I guess I'll let you know that I am wearing Jones by Estetica. So stay tuned for the colors I'm gonna show you, but before I jump into all of that, I'm gonna remind you to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel where you can learn even more about alternative hair. Now, of course, I'll talk about Jones a little bit. I'll give you some of the lowdown on her, but really today is all about just showing you guys what Jones looks like in 3 different rooted blonde colors. I said the word rooted so specifically, rooted. I think I pronounced that T a little bit too hard. Anyways, let's carry on. The thing that I love about Jones is that every time I put it on, I feel like a rocker chick. I think it's just all of this like unstructured, like messy wave happening with these like wispy bangs. It's just this shaggy rocker chick look that just makes me want to go and grab my leather jacket and just turn on some loud music and rock on. Okay, before I jump into the colors I'm wearing, I will show you the cap on this. So Jones is a really great budget-friendly option. So if you are on that budget and you are looking for something cute, take a look at Jones. So Jones is budget-friendly because it's a 100% machine-made cap. It is your basic of all the basic caps. You can't really go much more basic than what it is. So we have what is called our permatease top here. It's all machine sewn, like I said. We don't even have any velvet feature up at the top here. So if you are looking for like ultimate in comfort, Jones is not your girl. You could always sew in some velvet up at the top though if you wanted to. That might help make it a little bit more cozy, but it's not there right now. If you are looking for something that's breathable on top, Jones is also not your girl. You'd be wanting to look for a monofilament top that has a little bit more breathability. But this is all just permatease, which is that short-haired crimped effect at the root of a wig that I'll show you in a minute. But it doesn't create a lot of ventilation up here. Okay, the rest of your cap is open wefted, which is great because that does create ventilation. However, throughout a lot of this wefting, you are gonna find more of that permatease. The good thing about open wefted caps, like I said, is they are ventilated, they are a little bit breathable, and they're also nice and stretchy. So they are good for that. We have just your basic ear tabs here. There's not even any velvet on the ear tabs. They're just your standard ear tab, nothing too exciting. You do have, of course, the metal stays in them though, so they can bend to help form to your head a little bit. And then Estetica always does the nape with the hook adjusters. So if you want to adjust your circumference, you can use these little hooks. You see the hook, there it is. And you can find your little slot that's gonna work for you. And you can adjust the circumference to fit your head a little bit better. So that's kind of the rundown of the cap. Like I said, you can't get much more basic than this. However, I find whenever you do get a basic cap that doesn't have those bells and whistles on it, that is going to make it look realistic, then the best thing you can do is find something with bangs. So Jones, of course, has bangs, and the bangs, what they're gonna do is they're gonna conceal the hairline because you don't want that showing. That is just a giveaway that you are wearing a wig, of course, because this is a basic cap. There's no lace front on this. So these bangs are great to help conceal that and make this a little bit more natural. Now, one thing to know about Jones is that it is made with synthetic fibers, just plain synthetic fibers, not heat friendly. So one thing about synthetics is that they are a little bit shiny. I always feel like I have to mention this. So if you don't love the shine, you might not love synthetics, and you might want to go more towards heat-friendly synthetics, which are a little bit more matte. But synthetics are great because I find that they're a little bit more durable. They last a little bit longer than your heat-friendly synthetics. And this one in particular is nice and soft. I'm loving the feeling of this fiber. Jones is a lighter density. However, like I mentioned, we have permatease throughout this whole cap. And the permatease is what gives you volume. So even though I don't have it like super voluminous right now. If you get your fingers in here and really work at it, Jones can Jones can get really big if you want her to. So there's a lot of permatease. All you have to do is work with it. If you love that big hair, she can give it to you. But she can also be a little bit more toned down if you feel like you need. So this is about as toned down as she will go. So it's not gonna be like a low profile look at the side by any means. Like you're still gonna have a little bit of that poofiness in the crown, but she can get a little bit flatter than you may expect. Okay, let's talk about these colors now. So this one here is the color code R12/26RT4. So all of that together, what does that mean? The R12, the 12 is going to be your base of a light brown. So you can tell that, you know, the overall look of this is a light brown color. However, the 26 on this is going to be highlighted. It's pretty heavily highlighted, I would say, with a neutral to golden blonde color. Let me spin around so that you can see all of this. So this is one of those colors where you're like, I want it to be brown. It looks like it should be brown, but then you're like, hold on a second. That's a lot of blonde in there. Is it blonde? And then it's kind of, it's like super teetering on the edge of brown and blonde. It's a really nice color. I love this one. And then in the color code, the RT4, we have a root of a medium to dark brown color smudged at the root here. So I love roots on, especially on basic caps. With these basic caps, like I said, you don't have that illusion of scalp. It's all, I don't know if you can see this, it's all permatease in there. You don't get that illusion of a part line. What the root does on a wig like this, on a basic cap wig with a permatease top, is it kind of disguises your lack of a part line, and it like provides a shadow for it. That shadow shade there just sort of tricks the eye. So personally, if I ever get basic caps with permatease tops, I tend to go for the rooted colors. And another reason I love rooted colors is because it tricks people into thinking that your hair is actually growing, right? Because it looks like, oh, you know, I maybe need to get ready to go to the salon soon, get my color touched up at the roots. You know, other people think like, oh, your hair is growing because you have roots, right? So that again, it tricks people. And one more reason I personally love roots, especially on these basic caps, is that I'm a brunette. Like my bio hair is brown. So for me to go to just like a solid blonde or a solid light brown, that would not look natural. So having a little bit of that dark hair showing through helps me match my eyebrows a bit more and just helps sort of tie it all together for me as a natural brunette. Okay, let me show you another color here. I'm gonna jump into one that's a little bit lighter. So now we're going more blonde. So this one is going to be R1488 RT8. So here it is in comparison to R1226 RT4. Obviously you can tell that this one is a little bit darker, more of that light brown, golden tones. This one is cooler, a little more ashen tone, and obviously a bit more blonde. Okay, I'm gonna actually put this one on. I will mention that Jones fits pretty true to average. I find that a lot of Estetica's wigs tend to fit bigger than average for the most part, and they feel quite roomy on me. However, Jones in particular, she fits pretty true to average and doesn't feel like I'm like swimming in her. And I am a petite size with 20.5 inches in circumference, 11.5 front to nape, and 11.5 ear to ear. So if I brought in the adjusters a little bit, this would comfortably fit me with only a little bit of extra bulk in the rest of the cap. Okay, let's take a closer look at this color now, R1488 RT8. Okay, let's talk about this color a bit more. So the 14 in this is going to be your base of a medium sort of neutral blonde color. Nothing golden about it, nothing super cool about it, just that neutral medium blonde. However, the 88 that you see on this, that's gonna be more of that cooler, platinum, brighter blonde that you see highlighted throughout it. So here, I don't know if you can notice that darker, this is gonna be that, the 14, and then this lighter one, that's gonna be the 88. So it's a really nice combination of those two together, I find. This is a really beautiful neutral to cooler blonde tone. And then the roots here, we have an 8. So that's gonna be a medium brown color. And I love how it's just, again, really nicely smudged into this color. And I also love how on this one, the roots aren't too long. Sometimes you'll find roots on wigs that are just like a little bit too long, which I don't love the look of, but this one I find is done really well. Man, this is a really great blonde color, you guys. I am loving this. I also want to show you guys though, obviously this was the R1226 RT4. I'm now wearing the R1488 RT8. But I want to show you it in comparison to one of Jon Renau's popular synthetic colors called Shaded Praline, which is the color code 12FS8. I find that 12FS8 Shaded Praline is like a really great in between of these two colors. So I'm gonna put this in between here. See how it's not quite as dark as this one, but it's not quite as light as the one I'm wearing. It's a really nice in-between color. So if you are a 12FS8 in Jon Renau, you could go a little bit lighter with this one, or you could go a little bit darker with that one. Now, if you're looking at this blonde and you're like, oh, it's pretty, but it's just not quite platinum enough, I need platinum blonde, then you're gonna wanna take a look at Sunlit Blonde. Now, this one doesn't have any crazy color code. This is just called Sunlit Blonde. So obviously the big difference is that this one is platinum. This one is a little bit more just medium to cool blonde. You're also gonna find that Sunlit Blonde doesn't have a ton of dimension within the blonde color. It's very much just a bright, cooler platinum blonde. Whereas this one, R1488 RT8, has more of that dimension in it. Now, the dimension that you will find in Sunlit Blonde comes from the roots of this color, of course. The one thing I love about this root though is since it's a platinum blonde, I don't love when the roots are super dark. This one on Sunlit Blonde, this is a nice sort of medium to light warm brown color, and the roots are not super long. They're a pretty short root. I really love the look of this root. It's just not too dark. I feel like this video is making it look darker, especially when I put it at this angle, but I hope you can see how it's just not that, it's not that dark. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put this on so you can see what it's like on somebody. Here we go. So obviously much more of a platinum color, much brighter and lighter. Let me spin for you. Now, one thing I will mention is the consistency in the feel of these fibers. Each of these wigs that I have put on, the fibers have felt really soft. The density has also felt really similar. The cap has also felt really similar in terms of how it fits me. And the amount of permatease also very similar. I feel like the only minor inconsistency you might find with Jones is in regards to the amount of wave that you see. I feel like this one in particular is a little bit straighter than the other ones. So for example, this is the one I just had on. You can see this one has a little bit more wave. This one just, I don't know. Overall, it just feels and looks a little bit straighter and more like choppy layers as opposed to a messy wave. So just something to keep in mind that, you know, even though Jones to me has always fit the same, felt the same, the fibers have been the same, the permatease has been the same, like the bones of Jones have been the same. The bones of Jones. Even though that has been consistent, just know that the style can be a little bit different. All right, you guys, that's all I have to share about Jones today and the 3 colors I have for you here. I would love to know if you are someone who wears Jones. I know that it is a really popular wig. So many people gravitate towards this one because of the fact that it is budget friendly and because it's just Such a cool look. I just feel so cool every time I put this on. But let me know if you have worn Jones before and what you think of her. All of the women in this community, I feel, love reading through the comments so that they can find someone to relate to or see someone else's experience with it, because my experience is one experience. I am one person giving my one opinion, but it's always so nice to know what everyone else thinks too. But I'm gonna leave you with that, you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye, everybody.